What if I told you you can make this fishing lure in less than 30 minutes and sell it for a 500% markup? Seem too good to be true? Stick around and I'll show you exactly how I made it, the pricing and selling strategy, and how you can get the free files with the toolpaths already set up to make this exact fishing lure on your own CNC. I've partnered with Vectric to bring you a brand new series that's going to be here on my channel called Make Something That Sells. This is something that I'm really excited about, so be sure to be on the lookout for more of these types of videos in the near future. If you want to see the full design and modeling process, join my free CNC community. This part of the video it's always the longest, and I just don't want to throw it away, but I don't have an hour to fit it into this video. So hop into our community at the link in the description below and enjoy the full cut for absolutely free and see step by step on how I design this and model this. Okay, let's get right into this project. I want something that looks like a fish. Now, I really want a fish face. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the one, the fish face. You see, because we can get these details and carve these details. We're going to snip this using the snipping tool. All right, let me show you how easy it is to get the shape and create the shapes of this lure. All right, we're gonna go up here and select draw line. Just click around the outside here. The fewer the points, the better. And that'll make sense here in a second. So close that, selected. We can hit N to enter the node edit. All right, then we can hit S to smooth them all. And this gives us a nice these smooth lines where we can go and just adjust these kind of handlebars. Let's call them handlebars. I don't know what they're really called. But you can see how this is really, really close. You can zoom in and drag these points out. In a matter of minutes, I had these outlines. So now let's turn them into 3D shapes. So what we're gonna do to model this is just use one tool, which is the Create Rounded Shape Components tool. Take this right here and go all the way up to 90 degrees. You can see what it created. Pretty cool, pretty simple. Okay, you need to make sure your bitmap is selected. So create component from bitmap. And see what it did is it created a texture on our model. All right, so now we'll go to the other side, go to the bottom side. This is a really big lure, by the way. Just a little pocket here. And it's gonna be a shallow pocket right here in the belly, where we can put a little weight to keep the bottom side of the fish down. All right, so I got the toolpath set up on the fish side. Let's say, call this the fish side, the front side. And I set up a roughing toolpath, a 3D finishing toolpath with a 1/8 inch ball nose. The roughing is done with a 1/4 inch bit, downcut, upcut bit, really doesn't matter. Now we can flip back to the other side. So we can preview all these toolpaths on this side. You can see exactly what's going to happen here. I like it. I think it's going to work. So the only thing left to do is export these toolpaths and head out to the shop and get everything set up to run. Huge shout out to Becky from Vectric. She is an absolute modeling expert. Thanks again, Becky. All right, so for attempt number 2, I did a couple changes I want to share with you. First is I aligned my model to my material, and I centered it on my material. That's not entirely necessary, but it's a good thing to have your model in the middle of your material. Number 2 is the texture. I'm using a 1/8" ball mill, so I raised that height to get more scales, just ever so slightly, like a 1/16 of an inch. So we'll see if that 1/8" ball mill can get into those details. The next change that goes into that was I did a pocketing toolpath on the back side to remove material, and I had 0.08 in there, and 0.05 was supposed to be in there. So that is what cut off some of my detail on the edges. So I'm hoping these changes fix these 3 problems. All right, so now we're on take 3. What I've done, I can't get things to line up. So I'm gonna try a different technique here. I'm going to use some locating pins. I'm gonna take some 1/4" wood dowels and help align things up and see if that helps. For take 3, I'm also going to increase the detail a little bit more. You can see that we got a little bit of scale detail, but I want a little bit more. This is really what's gonna set this apart and make this look really cool. So let's see what happens. So for small products like this, I like to use a 6x materials pricing formula. This formula works well on smaller items where calculating your time can be weird. And so I just found that this works well. So we have $1.50 into wood, and I'm gonna add $1.50 into consumables. Those are the hooks, everything else, hooks, finish, sandpaper, that types of things. This final lure was made from a piece of stock of walnut that was 7.5 inches wide and 11.5 inches tall and 1/2 inch thick. At a local price of $10 per board foot, we have $3 into the wood that we use. But with a little of adjustment and rearranging, we could actually get 2 complete lures out of that amount of walnut. So we actually have $1.50 into the wood for 1 lure. So for this product, we're gonna use a 6x materials pricing formula. I've found in the past that this formula works well on small items like this, where your time is really hard to, like an hourly rate on small items is hard to figure out. So I found this works well here. So we have $1.50 into wood, and I'm gonna add $1.50 into for everything else. So that brings us all in at $3 to create one of these minus our labor cost. So 6x, back to the formula, so 6x times 3 is $18 for a sales price. And I think that works really, really well for something like this. This leaves us with $15 for labor and profits. Just to give you an idea what that equals, it took 20 minutes on the machine, took 10 minutes to sand and apply finish. Now, this doesn't account any of the product creation time, the prototyping, anything like that. That'll be recuperated down the line. You don't want to put that all into one item, because then this would be like a $50 item and it would never sell. A couple other considerations is you could use a cheaper material. You could really use any material here. Usually balsa or a lighter wood is used, but you could even paint them if you want to take some extra time and had some artistic ability and hand paint them. Also, this is something that could be batched out on your CNC by making a bunch of copies. This could reduce your machining times per unit and in turn boost your profits. A lot of room for profit on this product and price flexibility, which is always nice. The way to truly making money and selling smaller items like this is to do it at scale. You got to sell a lot of them, right? But I think these are so unique that customers won't blink much at anything under $20 retail. If you wanted to wholesale them, there's room in your price to do that as well, usually 50%. So you could sell these for $10 wholesale and still make good money. The key to selling this item will be to give it a purpose. Are they fishing lures for actually catching fish? Are they to sit on a desk or shelf as decoration? You know, maybe make a bunch of them and hang them on the wall or make something like that. Or they could be a personalized keychain. It really could go either way on any of these. Adding a place for personalization, a quote, a Bible verse could make this a really, really cool gift. So after thinking about all these different sales channels and target markets, I think the easiest sell, where you'd sell the most, for the most money is selling this as a gift for men rather than selling it to men looking for a fishing lure. These things are really important to consider because that determines who we sell to, where we go, how we portray it, how we talk about it. So we need to figure out what the purpose is going to be first. These are all things that we dive really deep into in my online course, the CNC Side Hustle, which is currently $400 off. If that interests you at all, there is a link in the description for you to learn more. So something I've learned from making this lure is that there's a lot that goes into making a functional fishing lure. A lot of considerations on the mechanics and how it works. I've done my best with this one, but I'm sure I have more to learn. So, will it catch a fish as is, or will I need to make some adjustments to for it to work properly? I don't know. Let's go test it. Again, if you want to make one of these yourself, everything you need is in the video description below, including the free files. Head down to the description below, get your free files, and make a cool project in your CNC. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.